Hi, it's Kate. I hope you are doing well and you are ready for some nice crafting. I will be doing tutorial for two elegant cards. They are very easy. The first step is prepare background. I took heavyweight mixed media paper. You can use watercolor paper, and I use those two great 3D embossing folders to emboss the papers, and I cut rectangles from them. Now I'm making splatters or droplets just with water, and I will pour embossing powder over it. Embossing powder will stick at the places where the droplets are. It's very easy and it's quite funny technique, but you can see when you are embossing it, heat set it, some of powder will fly away because water is not the same as embossing ink. I'm making two cards in my video because I wanted to show you new embossing powders just released this week. So if you are looking in January, they are now January 2021. They are now in shop. So I will heat set it, and we will be playing later. There are another steps. I'm using Distress Oxide inks. You can use any inks which you like, any color which you like. This is the first time when I'm using Rustic Wilderness. It's really great color. And the second Distress Oxides which I choose is Crackling Campfire, also very nice. I'm going slightly over all embossed areas and all edges, and it will make very interesting coloring of background. Just very lightly, do not push, just very lightly, like you are dry brushing or something like that. Do not push. And when I will color it, I will also make some splatters. It's not necessary step, but this can add another interesting part of background. This is something more, and I like making splatters. But if you are more control crafter, don't make splatters. Step, just skip this step. I will make them with both or at both card panels. I like to work on card panels because when I mess something, I can throw it away if it's not repairable, and I can start over, and I'm not wasting card base. So usually at all my cards I'm working at panels. Then I decide I need more vintage look. So I took another Distress Oxide vintage photo, and just here and there I applied color. Also around edges and at the embossed areas. Again, I'm not pushing. I'm going just very lightly. Distress Oxide, it's quite pigmented, very pigmented. And you have to go very lightly. But again, this step is not necessary, but I think the combination of all the colors which I choose today for cards, it's great for embossing powder, which which I will be using later. Off the camera, I made also splatters with Distress Oxide. Now it's time to prepare our focal image. I chose two stems from Tim Holtz stamp set called Specimen, and I will be doing heat embossing with new embossing powders. All materials are listed at the blog post or below video. I like to use my stamping platform because I don't know, I like it. You can stamp twice. you can be sure that your stamped image is really crispy and nice, and I like it. When you don't have stamp platform, just stamp your way. It's not necessary. So here I am pouring embossing powder, and you will see that I probably touched paper too much. So even when wall embossing powders are anti-static, when you touch paper too much, there is grease on our hands or our fingers, and the embossing powder stick at the places where your paper it's a bit dirty. But absolutely no stress, just take a brush, and the places where you don't want to have powder, brush it. So for my next image, I decided to use anti-static powder because I knew that I touch paper too much, and you will see that my next image I don't need to correct. It's very nice stamped, and it will be very nice focal point. Again, I'm stamping twice, not necessary, but I like to be sure. And I'm using for all my heat embossing, I'm using quite heavyweight papers. When you use papers which are not enough thick, you can have curling or waves at the paper. So it's always better to use some heavyweight paper. It doesn't have to be watercolor. I'm using watercolor paper because it's a bit yellowish, and it matches my background. But when you will be working on heavyweight white paper, of course you will be doing stamping at white paper, no, not at watercolor like I'm doing. As I said, I'm doing it because it matches my background. So I glued my panels to the note card, and the last step will be gluing butterflies. I don't like to use sentiments a lot, so no sentiments for my card. But if you like sentiments, you can stamp at it. It's absolutely up to you. Here I took just a pen, and I'm trying to make some dimension for my butterfly. Again, it's great that I had heavyweight paper. I can model it a bit. If it's too heavy, you can even spray a bit of water over it and make your shape. And because I like dimensions on my cards, I will glue butterfly and moth with 3D foam tape. Just be careful, glue it in the middle. Do not glue wings, because you want to have that lovely shapes and not flat image. And when you have good quality 3D foam tape, it's absolutely okay to have it just in the middle of your image. And the same step I'm making on the moth. I think it's moth. This this insect. I'm not fan of insects, but I like them on the cards, and I think it's really great this combination of embossed image and embossed background and all distress things. I think you can recreate many cards, not only in this vintage style, but you can use any ink, any embossing powder to create your card. But this effect of doing all the steps and the result, it's I like it. So I hope you like my tutorial. If you like WoW videos, do not forget to subscribe, give us like, and have a nice day. Thank you.